it's Ingrid here, and I'm just doing a really chill Retellathon TBR because it's currently 10 p.m. and the readathon starts in 2 hours. So yeah, totally prepared. I put on this overall dress today because I wanted to look super cute, and then I realized that I chipped my tooth and now I just feel like a stereotypical hillbilly. So great day today. Some of my favorite books are retelling, so I actually only have 2 books on my shelf that are retellings that I have not read, so I managed to get those into my TBR. The Retellathon is a readathon that goes from the 8th to the 15th of July. It's hosted by Spencer from Common Spence, Liv from Read by Liv, Leah from Leah Becks, Kara from Wild Book Garden, and Michaela from My Bookself. So I will have all their channels in the description down below. And they've created 5 challenges for this readathon. So I picked a book for each challenge, but I don't normally read 5 books in a week, so we'll see how that goes. But I did choose one for each, and we will try to get through as many as I can. So the first challenge is Love at First Sight. Read a retelling based on your favorite fairy tale. Now I might be cheating on this one, I'm not really sure, because I'm going to choose Peter Pan as my favorite fairy tale, but I'm not sure if it's classified as a fairy tale because it started out as a play and then I think going into a novel. Not completely sure if it's cheating or not, but I will do it. So for this one I'm choosing Peter Panzerfaust, probably completely butchering that name, and this is volume 1, The Great Escape. And this is a graphic novel, and it's the issues 1 through 5, and it's about this group of boys that call themselves the Lost Boys, I think, and it's set in the Second World War, and I believe that the Lost Boys are a group in the army, even though I'm not completely sure. I just bought this because it has a Peter Pan twist in there. If you didn't know based on my channel name and my previous videos, I love Peter Pan. When I saw this and realized it was a Peter Pan retelling, I had to pick it up. So I'm going to be reading this one for my first challenge. Challenge number 2 is True Love's Twist. Read a queer or gender-flipped retelling. So for this one I chose another Peter Pan retelling because I love Peter Pan. And so I chose a Peter Darling by Austin Chant, I think is how I pronounce his name. So I don't own a physical copy of this book, but they have it on Audible, so I'm gonna get it from there and listen to the audiobook for this one. So this Peter Pan retelling shows Peter Pan as a transgender boy that has a love-hate relationship with Captain Hook, so I'm really excited to read that one. Number 3 is Faraway Kingdom, and it's read a retelling of a fairy tale from your heritage. Now I'm Norwegian, so I had a lot of trouble finding any retellings of Norwegian fairy tales because you probably never heard of one. But I did manage to find 3 books that were all based on the same Norwegian fairy tale. Now I don't own any of those 3 books, but I did request my library to purchase all 3 of them, so I'm hoping that they'll purchase at least one of them, and then I will choose whichever one that they decide to purchase. So the Norwegian fairy tale they're inspired by is called in Norwegian Østenfor Sol og Vestenfor Måne. And the English translation for that is East of the Sun, West of the Moon. And it's a fairy tale that's kind of like Beauty and the Beast-ish, but it involves like a polar bear. And that's a fairy tale that I grew up with. So it was really cool that I did actually find retellings of it. And so I'm just going to put the covers here and then read you the names off my computer because I can't remember all of them. So the first one is called Sun and Moon, Ice and Snow, and it's by Jessica Day George. So the second book has 2 different names and covers, but it's the same book, but I think one is published in the US, one in the UK. So it's called East, and it's also called North Child, and it's by Edith Patu. And then the last one is Ice by Sarah Beth Durst. So as I said, they're all based on that one fairy tale, so I'll be reading whichever one my library purchase, if they do purchase one. So this is probably one that I might get to and might not, depends on how the rest of my reading goes. Number 4 is Under a Spell, and it's Read the Group Book, which is The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill. I have purchased a copy of this book, but it hasn't arrived yet, so hopefully it arrives sometime next week so that I can read it for this readathon. The Surface Breaks is an Irish retelling of The Little Mermaid written by Hans Christian Andersen, which is a Danish fairy tale writer, and I haven't read the original one, but I do own this book that came out previously this year, or this edition came out previously this year. And so I will read the original fairy tale first, and then I will read The Surface Breaks. And the 5th and last challenge is Unhappily Ever After. Read a fairy tale with a dark twist. So this will be either like a unhappy ending or from a villain's perspective. So for this one I went with Forest of a Thousand Lanterns by Julie C. Dow, I think it's how you pronounce it. So this is a Asian reimagining of the Evil Queen from Snow White, and I got this in a fairy loot box and I just haven't gotten to it yet, so I'm really excited that now I get to read it. I also have the audiobook from the library, so I probably will be switching back and forth between those two. And so I don't actually know anything else about the plot other than it's an Evil Queen retelling, but I'm all about that, so I do think I really love this, and hopefully I will be getting to this one during the readathon. So that was it for my TBR video. Hopefully I'll get to all of this. I'm being realistic, so I don't think I will, but I'm gonna try my hardest. This is my first ever readathon, so I'll also try and vlog this experience, and hopefully I will succeed with that and you will see that later on my channel. So make sure that you subscribe and let me know if you're participating in this readathon, or if you have any retelling recommendations, then leave them in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!